Let's go ahead and look at this problem where we're going to be writing an equation for a line that's perpendicular to the given equation. So my line needs to go through this point, and it's going to be perpendicular to that equation there. So let's talk about what we know about perpendicular lines. We know that their slope will be opposite reciprocals. So whatever the slope for that equation is, will be the opposite reciprocal for the slope of the line that I'm creating. And because we are going to have our slope and we have a point, we're going to be writing our equation in point slope form, which is in this is the general form for point slope form. And then later we're going to be rewriting it in slope intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. All right, so let's look at the equation that my lines needs to be perpendicular to, which is also written in that general form that I wrote down there. So my slope, which is the only thing that I care about in that equation, will be the opposite reciprocal of that slope is. So the opposite reciprocal of that would be positive because that slope for that line there is negative, and the reciprocal of that slope is 19/6. Remember, reciprocal just means we're going to be switching the numerator and the denominators. All right, let's go ahead and start plugging in our values. Y sub 1 is -2. And yes, I know that there's already a minus there, but our y sub 1 is also -2, so make sure that you include that, because then it becomes a double negative. And my x sub 1 is 5. So if the problem just asks us to make an equation, then we would stop here, but we're going to make it rewrite it in slope intercept form. That double negative becomes positive. We're going to distribute our slope to the inside of the parentheses. And then we're going to do some side work when we multiply 16/6 to 5, to -5. Any whole number, we can make it into a fraction by putting it over 1. And then fractions, we just multiply them straight across. So denominator with denominator. And then 19 times 5 would be 95. So when I distribute that, it would be minus 95/6. We're going to go ahead and switch it there. Shouldn't be over 2. We just did the side work, and it says that it's over 6. But let's go ahead and move the 2 to the other side because y needs to be isolated. Because it should be y equals mx plus b. Again, don't get thrown off. We're going to fix that over 2 to over 6 in a sec. All right, some side work again. And this is when I realized, hey, shouldn't be over 2, should be over 6, negative 95/6. So let's go ahead and fix it right now. Fix it right in our side work. All right, let's continue now. Make our denominators the same, so we're going to multiply the second fraction by 6/6, which then gives me 12 for my numerator and 6 for the denominator. Now that we have a common denominator, we can go ahead and subtract this fractions, but since both of our numerators are negative, we're actually adding them. So here's my equation that's going to be perpendicular to the given line. So if I were to graph these lines, they should form a 90-degree angle.